All right, joining us now in the Sevens Club, one of the most decorated athletes in U.S. sports history. That's a big start to this. Heather O'Reilly, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. I'm pumped to be here and pumped to talk about all things TST. I had so much fun last year. It's one of the best weekends of the year. I will say with some confidence there. So, looking forward to year two for sure.
I really think we should start with year two because the reason we're talking to you right now is there's a major development in year two, and it's after the love that the U.S. women team got last year and the fun that your team had. It's time for a full women's tournament.
I mean, they brought all the fans for sure.
Exactly. And now we
you
got
guys and Wrexham,
8 teams women's
a different
tournament.
level.
You had one or two that were out to see the Stoke former defender, U.S. national team former defender Jeff Cameron. There was a few. There was a handful.
There was definitely a few. There's a few.
Yeah. No. Thank you for saying that. Yes, I think if there's one thing that I'm super proud of in my career, it's that I was part of the national team for a long time, right? And it was a huge part of my life from when I was a teenager to like a grown adult. And because of that, I have like a real appreciation for what the women's national team stands for and what it embodies and what it means to people. And I knew that people would get behind us. And they did at TST. It was a great opportunity for me to get like some of my former teammates back together, get we have a real sisterhood. And I'm sure that Jeff feels that too with the men's national team. You create these incredible lifelong bonds with these people. And so, it was good to be back together and be playing in front of the fans. And hopefully we inspired some people. Listen, we got our asses kicked. We lost 12-0, but I hope that we proved to people that this game is fun. And even when it was 11-0 against Wrexham, us delusional athletes on the pitch still thought we could come back and maybe win it because of target score. And the crowd was behind us, chanting USA, USA, even though it was 11-0 at that point. And so, what a blast. So much fun. But this year could be different, Andrew, as you alluded to.
Exactly. Because this year there's an 8 teams women's tournament. Also for $1 million. You will not have to go through the mountain of a man, Lee Trundle, to win that $1 million.
Big post up fella.
All I'm going to say is you guys have a really good chance of winning $1 million.
Listen, I'll say it the way they said it.
I got 1 out of 48.
Yeah, Jeff, they would call it maths. I'm not great at maths, but I really like our chances.
Yeah.
I really like our chances this year. 8 teams, you guys, 8 teams. That's again, my maths is not good, but I feel like that's around 4 hours of soccer, with group play and then a semifinal and then a final. So I do like our chances. I mean, 8 teams, 1 of 8 is coming home with $1 million. There's a woman out there, hopefully it's myself, that's scoring a game-winning goal for $1 million. I mean, it's huge. And
so are you recruiting right now? Are you bringing in your A squad? You calling in everybody you know?
I am. I mean, you guys probably know there's been some big names retiring this season, including my very dear friends, Ali Krieger and Megan Rapinoe. And I've certainly put the call in for them. There has been some interest. I'm not going to confirm or deny any involvement at this point because I don't want to speak for anybody else besides myself. But I am in conversations with people that are just freshly off the pitch, right? Carly Floyd, one of the best players of all time. Julie Ertz, same thing. Yep. Baller. Yep. So I'm making some phone calls for sure. I think people were interested last year, right?
Yeah.
And now
it was kind of unknown.
A little bit of this cash carrot dangling right in front of our faces. I think will entice some more people, and good on TST for committing to this for year 2. I love it.
Well, Heather, I'm not very good at maths either, which is why, I'm a part podcaster and not a mathematician, but doing some research, $1 million, let's say there's 18 players on the team. You're looking at over $50,000 per person. That is competitive with some of the biggest women's leagues in the world, if not the biggest. women's leagues in the world. I mean, can you talk a little bit about just how massive of a prize and a tournament this really is for women's soccer?
Well, Andrew, you would be a more generous captain than I, because for a 7-a-side tournament, I don't know if you need a squad of 18 players, right? So I'm going to have to review, Jeff, I don't know your thoughts. We're going to have to review what the winning earning share would be. And I'm, happy to start to carve that out, because I'm sure that
she would get a little bit more, being the gaffer and running the show, right?
Listen, I'm the GM, I'm the GM, I'm the GM.
The GM, the
No,
players.
I'm not the coach. I'm not the coach. I'm not the
Okay.
coach, Jeff. I'm not the coach.
Okay.
You
get a little.
Yeah, I mean, I'm putting the squad together. I had the vision.
Okay.
I had the vision. I'm the vision person.
It causes you so much more stress, headache. All right.
Yeah,
That's
but listen, I mean,
percentage.
last year we had a wonderful team effort, right? We had a great squad of players. Then we had like the team mom that like put together people's backpacks with their gear. And we had, people that provided us meals after
and
the
orange
games,
slices.
so we could refuel. Exactly. I put a call in to Abby Wambach and Glennon Doyle already, because we might need them as well. So they were also interested to hear more. So we got a lot of buzz coming around this squad. And I think, to answer your question, Andrew, like, this is real money. Like, this $1 million is a lot of money for a 4-day tournament.
Especially
right?
if you're in college right now and you're listening to this and you're finishing your college season now, and then you're going to go into the spring and you're going to be ready. This might be an opportunity for you to go.
Yeah, if you're getting excited about NIL deals for like posting on Instagram for like $300 or something, you're gonna get pretty jazzed about like a 25G little earning kick out for being part of a team, right? And so I think, it's really exciting. I think, like Jeff said, maybe it's college players, maybe it's retired players, and I think that was the majority last year. Like, let's call a spade, Jeff. But I think now that
I retired and I played this TST, and it was the most amazing thing ever. It was awesome.
It was sick. It was wonderful.
So cool.
But my point is like, listen, I know as a pro athlete, there are things in your contract, like you can't go skiing, you can't partake in different leagues, all this stuff. Well, at least on the women's side, $1 million is a pretty big deal for a club, right? So if I was a club general manager or CEO, whether in Europe, it might be a little bit easier in Europe because they're on summer break during this time, or even in the NWSL, I would have to consider what it looks like to allow a handful of my athletes to partake in this, not only for the money, but for the PR, for the attention,
the street cred.
The street cred. And I don't think this has ever been done before. Certainly not in America. $1 million purse for a 7-a-side tournament for for men's and for women's.
That's a great point. That's a great point, because noticed down in Florida, they just opened up, there's a new women's team down here, and they just added a few more teams. So thinking that could be a good in for them to start. So if the owners,
I think that you're right. I think that there's a lot of potential for teams to come in. And I mean, everybody's going to come in and with the hopes of winning, right? Like, nobody's coming in for like, I love North Carolina, but nobody's coming for a holiday, right? Everybody is coming to win this thing. But I do think that there's a lot more to gain from this tournament than just winning, right? I mean, we had a blast. First of all, it's good for the community. It's good publicity. You have a 1 in 8 chance. I'm sorry about that. Let the ladies have one on this time, Jeff, because you've had how old are you? Like 37 years old or something? You've had 37 years of just like being like a dude that kind of gets a little advantages here. Let us have for once we have a percentage to win.
Whoa. I mean, World Cup, all that kind of, you guys would come on. We don't have to go there, do we?
Yeah, I mean, too soon on the equal pay, right? But anyways, I'm sure that we can both agree that this is a great thing, is really exciting. And hopefully, Jeff, we're both coming home with $1 million this summer.
Yeah, but then you know what? We could play all in. Do you want to do all in? Want to do all in?
Oh,
You want to do all in?
Double or nothing at the end.
We could do all in. Hey, and this is up. Male team, women's winner, boom, all in, 2 million cash. It's got to be cash though. Can't be a check. It's got to be cash.
I see what you're doing here, Jeff Cameron. I see what you're doing here.
You like that?
Wait, so are you the coach of your squad?
No, I'm playing. What are you talking about? I'm straight in.
No. Okay, sorry. Are you assembling your squad?
I am a helper of assembling the squad. I have a very good teammate, Stephen Ireland, who is assembling the squad. He's got pretty good. We're coming in a little bit stronger this season. We're gonna go with some hitters.
Yeah.
How'd you guys have a little bit more depth?
You got through to the next round, right?
Yeah, we lost in the semis.
Yeah,
it was tough. Like we needed 1 or 2 more players, and we would have been sweet.
Right.
We just fatigued.
If you're gonna lose, if you're gonna lose, Jeff, you might as well lose early and join us in the cabanas.
I know, it's so crazy.
Because we had a really nice time.
I know.
And how cool was it for people to just turn out, like Steve Nash and Chris Paul, and a lot of folks are like turning in their heads. So I think hopefully year 2, more and more people know about it. Because year 1, like nobody knew what was going on, right?
It was a silent assassin. Like no one really knew what to expect.
Yeah.
Like we got there and we were like, we're doing these warm-ups, and like some teams are like taking it super serious. And we're like, dude, we look like a bunch of Joeys right now. Like we just got our team together and we're like, all right, let's just play. Yeah. And then all of a sudden the first game starts, we're like, holy shit, this is like subs, and other teams had a little bit more structure. We had to adjust to it. But it was so fun because then it was just like, everywhere you look, you're seeing people that you come across throughout your career, but you're like, oh, hey, what's up? And it's like, it was just a really cool, fun environment to be around, and everybody was super excited, and the fans were awesome, super positive, and I think they appreciate it because it was entertaining as hell. Like I didn't get it.
A lot of goals. The target scoring was good. Taking a player off, right? You had to take a player off. Is that right?
Yeah.
Forgetting, but But the target scoring is cool because I'm old school, right? Like I miss sudden death in football. Like I don't really understand why we got rid of that. I would bring back sudden death. I think it's just like so fun to end on a goal and everybody like.
Or we could go to like the MLS shootout, like the goalie would dribble it.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Like when they would do that? Oh, wow. That would be a way to win the game too.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You're right.
You're rewriting TST, Jeff. You're in here to help.
I'm just flowing with these ideas, getting some creative ideas going. I got a pen. I'm writing shit down. I don't know.
Yeah. He's bringing some more layers to the tournament, which we appreciate.
But it's going to be like just, nope, bad idea. Bad idea.
Yeah. They're like,
sorry.
Heather, yes. my favorite Heather moment from last year, and you arguing with Lee Trundle was probably number 1, but my real number 1 was you in the crowd with the Como fans. So
yeah.
So
really I had a couple beverages, Aperol spritzes, I think by that point.
Oh, what a drink.
What a drink. Goes down.
What a drink.
I have loved the Como folks. I've stayed in touch with them. I was like, I want to come over to Como and like come to a game. So that's also kind of part of what is cool about the weekend. Yeah, you meet people. You meet people from different clubs. Maybe there's some business like collaborations that can be formed and partnerships and stuff like that. Like we're doing right now,
I didn't have the privilege to get a drink.
Like?
I didn't have a privilege to have a joy, like to sit down, have the beer, and watch a game.
Right.
So we got knocked out.
Heather, what was that like being in with the cabanas and all the players and stuff?
I know.
It was super fun. I mean, like we took it quite seriously before we got knocked out. And then after we got knocked out, we took enjoying ourselves very seriously. Right. Well, thanks for saying that about me celebrating with Como. By the way, me arguing with Trundle's his name. Yep. I want to make sure I said it right because
were you a little scared of him?
I was never scared of him, but like clearly I was just messing around. Like it was friendly banter. And I have gotten so much online abuse Like I will put up a picture of like me and my kids or like me and my dog or something on Instagram, like a lovely, tasteful photo. And it's like my friends being like, oh, cute, whatever, hearts.
Hope you get
And then
two-footed.
there'll be somebody from like Wrexham that'll just be say 12-0.
Told you.
12-0. They're still following me. They're still
Oh yeah, that will never.
the DMs that I've gotten were like very hateful, very hateful.
It's harsh. English fans over there, they don't mess around. They don't mess around.
Yeah. All right, you won. I don't know.
We knew it was for fun. We knew it was for fun. And you also, during that, you called out Ryan and Rob for, where were they? Call them out again. They got to get there this year, right?
That's poor from them. Poor from them. They didn't show up.
Ryan Reynolds fan, big Ryan Reynolds fan over here. So, although Blake Lively, you're lovely. So I'm not trying to step on any toes there, but big Ryan Reynolds fan. And I hope that they can make it out this year. I think that it was a fun event.
Andrew, you gonna make the call? You gonna make the call?
I got Ryan on speed dial.
Okay, I figured. Yeah, Heather, we can make it happen.
Sweet.
Andrew can make it happen.
Sweet. Yes, I would love that. I can promise a good time had by all. Can do that.
What other celebs or high profile athletes, people would you like to see at TST this year? Because it was crazy last year with Chris, and then even Mia was such a big celebrity.
Yeah, I mean, clearly I hope that my gals come on back. Like I said, I put the call into Abby for Mia and Akers and Carla Overbeck. Like in women's football, like those are the OGs. Those are those are our stars, right? So the fact that they were there was amazing. And I hope that they decide to come back. And Christine Lilly at like 52, like still lacing them up and knocking it about was just the best. So certainly I hope that they come back. I mean, I would love if LeBron came. I would love if, I feel like Chris Paul and him, I think, are like buddies. I would assume so. And I would hope that, Chris has been able to articulate to some of his NBA teammates about how cool this is. Lauren Holiday is a good friend of mine. Lauren Cheney played on the national team, and her husband is Drew Holiday, now plays for the Celtics, which, Jeff, you might know because I think you're a Boston guy. You're a Boston guy. And Drew Holiday is a big time player for the Celtics right now. And so, they are obviously a huge basketball / soccer couple that, might have a lot of interest in this tournament as well. So that would be super cool if they made it out. What about you? Do you have anybody, Jeff, in particular that you think would be cool?
Oh, I have to go through my phone. There's so many names, like, I don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Like,
you know what? If I've heard that Inter Miami is like considering getting a women's team.
Yeah.
So what a really good kind of coming out party if they're going to kind of put something together. And Bex, if you're listening to the pod, would be phenomenal if he came out. And if this was an opportunity for Inter Miami to be like, here we are, we're a real deal. And use this as sort of, like I said, a coming out party, a first time event for your Inter Miami women.
I mean, that's a pretty good shout. We definitely have a sporting director, coach, general manager open, right, to run the team. Are you available to run the team? That'd be interesting. We can talk to Beck, get the contract sorted.
I could mess with
Moss, get the Moss brothers in. Hey, sort it out. Yeah.
Get a flat in Miami Beach.
Yeah.
Zip down a couple days a week.
Yeah, just a couple days. I only come down for 2 days a week. I'll watch it at my place here and just watch it on the video, right? Like
you're right. I am available. Give me a call.
Andrew, once again, make that happen. Come on.
I will make some calls. Personally, I like the LeBron answer. I'm a big LeBron fan. That would be cool. We need some like musicians there this year, though. They don't have to necessarily perform, but how cool would it be if Lil Wayne was in the Cabanas? He's a big social guy. Every time he's anywhere.
What about like a Black Coffee type like vibe, like the Tulum or the Mykonos, like chilling, right? That kind of feel, because then we're having our Aperol spritz. And we're drinking our Aperol spritz right in the cabana. The sun's coming in, so you're just kind of vibing, just listening to the
All
music.
right. I mean, I see the different kind of vibes that you guys are throwing out.
Are you thinking
both.
like?
No, I like both of them.
Okay.
You know, though, who would be excellent to get because he's just good fun. He's good dude. Is Patrice Evra. He brings
Yeah,
a
he would be
good
great.
time.
Yeah.
He brings a good time. Robbie Keane. These are guys that I played with. I do Soccer Aid. I've done it the last 2 years, which is super fun. What an honor to be invited to play with some of those guys and gals and raise some good money for UNICEF. But yeah, Evra would be great, and Robbie Keane. You know, if Soccer Aid wanted to put together a team, I think that would be awesome. They could do little like Soccer Aid comes to the US, raise money for UNICEF. I am surprised that there isn't any maybe like teams that are doing it to raise money for a cause. So I think I would dare people to kind of think about it like that. Not everybody is like selfish a-holes like Jeff and I and just want some extra cash in their pocket. Some people would actually think of the children. So if there's any brands out there that see like some really interesting collabs with nonprofits, I think that would be pretty cool.
I think that's a great point. We have that in TBT, the basketball tournament. There's a lot of teams that play for causes, and now that there's 48 teams on the men's open to all side and 8 teams, we're up to over 50 teams. So I agree with you. Get a few causes in there. I think it would be great. Heather,
hold on. I got a question for Heather.
Yes.
If you could play with any player, like past or present, if you could choose any player to play, like just kick the ball around with, who would it be?
It's
a good question.
It's a great question. I mean, Messi's the best of all time, and like he just seems like a likable guy. So that would be pretty cool. But I'm gonna keep my Beckham theme going. I've met David a few times. Nice bloke.
Nice
but
game.
Yeah, like I was a winger, right? And like I was never as good at crossing the ball as he was, or like I should have improved my set piece art like he did. But I think that like, yeah, in terms of his style on the pitch, I think was super fun for me to watch. And yeah, I don't think that there's many other characters in the game that I would want to play with more than David Beckham.
That's pretty cool.
What about you?
I would definitely say Zidane for me.
Yeah.
I watched him. So short story, I was in Providence. I was doing some training, getting ready for college. And all of a sudden I see a bus pull up. So I'm training actually outside Brown University's like fields. And all of a sudden a bus comes up and it's Juventus. Del Piero, Buffon, Edgar Davids.
Yeah.
Like Paulo Nedved, all the studs get off the bus. And I'm like, wait, this is fucking crazy. And all of a sudden, like, I remember because Davids was like, he was the guy that did, like the old Nike commercials and they would do like the crazy tricks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Edgar Davids was my guy. He was like a defensive midfielder, hard nosed, aggressive. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So this guy just comes out, starts kicking the ball with me. I'm on the field. And I'm like, in that moment, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, you go through and then you see all these guys, they train, you watch the whole training session and you're like, man, that was so cool. And then think of them like, if I could choose to sit down and have coffee or just kick a ball around with someone, it would be Zidane because I got to see him live in person against Roma. And it was like the Galacticos.
Yeah.
He did shit that was like,
yeah.
And I played some against world-class players.
Yeah.
But he did stuff against world-class players.
Yeah.
And it was like he was smoking a cigar.
Yeah, another tier.
Nah. He was on a different planet for me.
Yeah.
So just to be in his presence and to like really think on the level of the way he thought would be super, super cool. And just, hey, how's my pink compared to yours?
Or no? You're saying that he was that day? He was there. He wasn't with Juventus.
No, he wasn't with Juventus.
No.
He already made that jump to Real Madrid.
Right.
So,
Okay.
but it was still like at that moment, I just remember like being that kid,
Yeah.
and Davids comes over and just walks, and like that's like such a cool
Right.
moment.
Right.
Wish I could have that moment with Zidane.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would
That's
have.
awesome, Jeff, and I respect that too, because like you said, like you played in the Prem for a long time, you played with the national team a long time, like you've played with like with and against like a lot of the greats, right? And the fact that you still get like, a little kid in you comes out when you talk about
It's crazy because I actually saw, and then there was like that moment. I wanted to like I have a picture of like me at the field with Edgar Davids, and I was like, I used to see him all the time in like London for sushi. I'm like, I want to go over there, but he's with someone. I'm like,
yeah.
really, really want to ask to take his picture. But just because I'm like, dude, like you're a moment. I was dreaming of this, and you just helped me along. Like,
Oh, cool.
and it was like it's so natural, and like that's exactly what you did with girls all around the world, like, but girls specifically here in the United States. They see your face, see what they did. You walk past, you gave them a dream, something to hold
Mhm.
on to.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's cool because it's relative, and that's the same thing. Us going to this tournament, it's another way where parents can bring out their children. They can see you, see us, and like that's a generation, 2 generations are seeing it, right? And
Right.
it's pretty special, man. I think that's why TST is so badass.
Yeah. Well, it was such an intimate atmosphere too, right? Like
Yeah.
there's not it's a especially on those side pitches, like you're seeing some folks like up close, right?
Mhm.
And you can maybe meet players after the games and
And they're
uh
getting that nitty-gritty, like, raw bit that they wouldn't really get at
totally,
any other match, right? Like,
totally.
it's pretty. I mean, I know they heard me say some shit,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. And they
I'm sure
heard
you heard me say
no, they
shit.
heard Lee Trundle.
Yeah.
No, I love it. Yeah, I totally agree. I hope that some current players come out. I mean, clearly Como figured it out. Some of those guys were current players.
Yeah.
So we should ask how they talked about contracts and injuries and stuff like that.
Well, Heather, I want you to put your manager analyst hat on for a second.
Yeah.
And real quick, last summer during TBT, we had a long day of basketball games. It was like 2 a.m. I turned the TV on, and there you were doing World Cup coverage, which was very funny. After a long day of TBT, I get to end the day with Heather. But I want you to put your manager hat on. The current, U.S. women's pool, 7 aside, you're building your 7. Who's on that team for you?
Oh man, the current team.
Good question.
The current
Yeah,
team.
really good question, Andrew.
Be careful.
I think that Naomi Girma is one of the best defenders out there in the world. I would say in the world. So certainly she would be like anchoring my back line. I would definitely go with some of the OGs. Like, I mean, I know she's not healthy right at the moment, but Kelly O'Hara is somebody that I look towards. Like, I considered myself a competitive beast, right? Like, I won a lot of stuff, lost some things too, but I won a lot and I won the majority of the time. And I'm pretty fiery personality, but Kelly O'Hara takes it to like another gear, and she's just perfect to have on a team, right? And even this last World Cup, like she was injured, but she was still somebody that the coaches was like, she's on the team sheet, right? Like she's maybe not starting lineup, but like she's there because she's going to nudge people on. So like she would definitely be on my squad. Lindsay Horan, I think, is like a total footballer, maybe more than anybody else has been in the US program for a long time, just in terms of like, in our world, like she was one of the first to like be like, no, I'm not going to play college soccer. I'm going to go to Europe and I'm going to play for PSG and I'm going to take a contract when I'm a teenager. And she really rounded out her game, I think, at a really early age. I mean, something that I didn't even consider until I was like in my 30s. She was doing in her like late teens. So she kind of can do it all from a center midfield position. So she would kind of be in the center of the park. And then I think somebody like Sophia Smith up top, who super fast and a good finisher, and a really exciting talent. So there's a few of them for you.
All right. That's a great answer. And then I think you would end up not being able to stay off the pitch for too long, and you'd end up being in there with them, I'm sure.
Yes. I have a self-belief that has carried me, but also is a bit delusional sometimes. And it's like one of those things, as Jeff knows, like as a competitive athlete, some of the things that were great for us sometimes are our vices. And we are always managing that. And yes, I would start myself, no doubt, in a
Back yourself every single day of the week.
I would back myself. I would back myself.
100%.
And so yes, I would always start myself in the 7-side, even with current
First name on the boom.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, Heather, last thing for me, and we'll have Jeff do this on the men's side after, but
oh, come on. No.
For you, Heather, and we just talked to Spencer from hashtag, and he basically said he wants TST, for the sake of TST in football and soccer, to be as competitive as possible. But at the same time, he wouldn't care if every team sucks so that hashtag could win the million. I'm sure you want to win the million, but you also want the field to be as fun as possible. What, just a message to women's soccer players across the world, why they should come and play in TST?
A message to the players? Yeah. Listen, I mean, same thing. Like, I wish the other 7 teams and the women's field were like 50-year-old women who barely touch the ball anymore. That would be freaking awesome, because we would have an easy route to the final, and then we get it across the line. But I would like look at somebody like Sam Kerr, right, in Chelsea women, and I'm like, she would have a blast at this event. She would have a blast, and she would be very good. And I think I would have to really bolster my back line. I'd have to be on my like knees begging Julie Ertz to come play, because that would be probably our only chance against somebody like Sam Kerr, right? So she would be awesome. And yeah, I mean, to get some like South American flair, you like Santos or somebody like that.
He's got it figured out. She's got it. I mean, you're definitely a GM. You're ready to go.
Yeah, right. So like, yeah, I mean, there's clubs in Mexico, there's clubs in South America that like, in a 7-a-side for that kind of money would be super dangerous to play against. So like you said, Andrew, I feel like I want to encourage them. I'm a little bit nervous to do so because it makes my job harder. But I think they would make for a good tournament.
Jeff, flip to you. Call them out. Tell players across the world why they should come play in TST.
Oh, it's entertaining as hell. If you haven't had the adrenaline flowing a little bit, I want to get big man Crouchy in, have him be a target forward.
Right.
Get Bojan to play underneath. Like, it brings you back to a memory of you just being a kid again, and just playing for fun, obviously, but putting the money aside, it's competition. It's what push you to get to where you are, right? It's for the love of the game. You get it to go out there and have fun. And, you try to win something. And I think for me is the mentality of winning is always in my mindset. I want to win at everything. But at the same time, Heather, you brought it up, like the banter and the camaraderie with your teammates and your friends. That is so important, and it helps those memories.
Yeah.
And you kind of relate to it. You come back, you're like, oh, I remember that. Yeah, we were like going through that tough bit, but then you can look over your shoulder and you're like, yeah, I trust him. It's like target time. We're in it together.
Yeah.
It's like those special moments, whether you're with your friends or whatever, it's an opportunity for you to go out there, have fun, and get a chance to win $1 million.
Yeah.
And if you don't win $1 million, who cares? You had a blast doing it.
Yeah, you can't lose, really. You can't.
It's a win-win. Like, no matter what, you're going to experience something that you've never experienced before, in a different element, different type of game. It's not soccer. It's something different. And it's an X factor. It's something that is, you come to it, you come watch it, check it out for yourself. And I guarantee you're going to be like, I'm going to go again the next year and the next year and the next year, because it is something special.
Well
There you
said,
go.
Jeff. Well said.
Yeah.
Well
Thank
said. Heather, anything else before we wrap this up that you want to get off your chest that you
Are
want
you
to say?
cheering for Blade and Grass next year?
Yeah, I will. Are you cheering for U.S. women?
Yeah. I'm US ride or die. Talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, you're a real America first kind of guy.
I got
America.
like American flag tattooed on my arm.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm Americaned out.
No, I would just like to point out, like, freaking props to TST, right? We talk about FIFA equal prize money, and they're like, oh, we're trying to get there, whatever. TST is like, by the second year, they're like, no, we're doing it, equal prize money. We're gonna do things the right way. And I love it. So well done to them for making a call to do this. I think it's a great opportunity for sponsors to get behind it. Brand, collaboration is obviously important. This is like Jeff said, this is a fun thing. It's a positive thing. And so only you're coming out of this as winners.
Well, there you go. Heather,
Straight facts from Heather O'Reilly right there. Mic drop. Boom.
Heather, this has been great. To the listeners, the viewers, get excited to see this Heather O'Reilly face, because you are going to see it a lot over the next X amount of months. And I think hopefully you see it on that final day with $2 million championship games, holding up a check. That
I
says
thought you were
US
saying a
women.
$2 million game.
Well,
yeah,
that
because
too.
Jeff and I are
all.
going double or nothing on the final.
Right? I was like, we're doing it. All right, let's go. 50-50. Boom. Wait, what if like it was like, okay, no matter what, 2 winners go through, okay, then the sponsors pay, okay, you get your $1 million each. But then the real money's in between.
For another million.
Another million.
Well, there,
I don't know. I'm just
you go.
saying. Come on, guys.
I see now what you're saying about your maths.
Yes, you were the math. Sorry. We need more sponsors, Andrew. Come on.
I'll try.
An extra $1 million for the double or nothing, right?
There you
For
go.
the 2 winners.
Jeff, I'll make another call.
All right. Come on, Bex. Call Ryan Reynolds. Come on.